Hey everyone, this is the Heroes Podcast, and I'm back again with Irina Portnova. How are you from the US?
Hi, Andrea, and thanks so much. I'm so honored to be a part of your beautiful podcast and so excited to share all my knowledge and everything what I can share with people to inspire them to live their best lives.
It's amazing, and there's just one thing I wanted to share right here, and I'll share your background in a second, but I know where you come from. We were born in the same region, and when I learned about your business, I was actually in Australia, but now you're in the US. So it's very exciting how we've been able to create brands. But before we go into that, I will intro you so people know who you are. So Irina Portnova is a bestseller international author and a talk show host, manifestation coach with manifesting generators powers. Her intuitive dual energy doesn't just chase dreams, it captures them. Partner with her, and she'll help you transform your desires into vibrant realities. Together with Irina, you'll spark a universe of possibilities. Oh, I love this. So, Irina, do you want to tell us the beginning of your journey? If you want to share us some struggles and troubles if you had in the beginning of your journey, where did this start from?
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that's a great question. So everything started when I was working as an accountant. And this was actually what I was doing by trade all my life. But I always was dissatisfied, right? I always was thinking there is something more to my life. And obviously, the long hours, the things that I wasn't able to see my kids as much as I wanted to, like it was something that constantly was nudging me to look into something else. And at the same token, I decided to learn more about myself because now I understand how important it is to know who we are and understand what are our gifts and talents so we can contribute more and more to this world. And as I was learning about myself, I was exploring about myself through numerology, through astrology, to get more insights of what am I here for and what can I give to this world. And as I'm exploring, and something speaks to me that I really want to have my own business. And obviously, what do? We just look into the outside circumstances. I looked at my degree, I looked at my education, and thinking, okay, that's exactly what I can have my business in, right? But it wasn't just lightening up, right, Andrea? I wasn't really happy to start something in that career. And obviously, I continue searching and opening my eyes and my ears for the possibility because it's just something that when we put our intentions and when we start like really pondering upon something that we want to have, when we direct our energy that way, the universe starts opening the possibilities for us. So I was experiencing very much of the discontent during this time, and I wanted to change my life.
This is very powerful, as you say. And before we go to changing your life, because obviously you did, so you're a manifestation coach. I was wondering what has been. You mentioned you had children. I wasn't realizing how many children you had. Like, what was going on through your mind by probably you would go into the office 9 to 5 each day, or maybe even more. Like, what was going on emotionally or mentally in your head while doing, I call this a bit of a slavery and drudgery. Tell me about more.
Oh my God, that's such a powerful question. It's so true, right? So my daughter is 18 now, and my son is 9. But at that time, they were a little bit younger, obviously. And what really was breaking my heart is that I leave my house when they were still asleep. And a lot of times I would come back when they are already in the bed. So this was something, obviously the weekends we spent together, but I felt kind of guilty. I felt I wasn't there for them. And just the fact that I can't really have that bonding time with them, I can't really share like how our days go. Like it really was taken away from my parenthood. And that's exactly what was always on my mind. And at the same token, the other struggle was that, of course, I have to go to work because I have to generate income. Because although I have a husband, but it's nowadays you have to have two incomes in order to live a decent life. So that's exactly what was the battle inside of me. Like one side of me was saying, I have to go to this job. And like you mentioned, what it wasn't 9 to 5, because in accounting we had a lot of long hours because there were the deadlines to meet, there was a reporting to be done. So I would leave like around 6:30 in the morning the house, and I would come back like around 8 p.m. or sometimes even after that time. And obviously, it was very heartbreaking for me.
Wow. I I didn't know two children, being a mom, working. It's almost like they were stealing your life away every day. Uh, so then you mentioned you started searching. What was the first thing that set you off? Like books, seminars? How did you start the journey?
Thanks so much for this question. I think what started my journey was like that instinct. It was just like that inner voice inside of me saying there is something more to life that you are not really exploring. There is better things that you can actually do. And that's why I started to learn about myself, because I really wanted to understand what are my gifts? What is something that I can get myself involved with, generate income, and at the same time enjoy it, right? Because we are not here to suffer. We are not here to make somebody rich. But if we actually do something that we love, and when we do it, we don't even feel like we are working a single hour. And that's exactly what I wanted to discover for myself.
I love that. So you started to basically listen to your heart and give yourself a chance. Wow. And what, how did you do this? Like, I understand, did you get clear about, I'm a manifestation coach, or it started sort of uh, being a coach and finding this manifestation space later? What was it that gave you clarity?
That's a great question. So obviously, I was on that road of discovery, but at the same token, I was very scared, right? And I think a lot of people can relate to that, because although I felt this disconnect with the job that I was doing, but I knew this is the job that generated the income. And since I don't have anything else to provide the income, like I wasn't ready to give up and quit on what I have, right? So I was like discovering what exactly I can do. But at the same time, token, I was like so in my comfort zone that I wasn't ready to step outside of that invisible line to start really exploring it much. So I did attend like different workshops online, different seminars, just to get better ideas what I can get into, exploring something, like selling on Amazon or doing the Amazon books. But nothing was to the point that this is exactly where I'm going to be heading, right? And interesting thing happened because it's exactly how we actually could see the trajectory of our lives. Whatever we focus our attention on, the universe treats as our intention. And then the things started to unfold in the way for me to step out of my comfort zone. And that's when the pandemic hit and I lost the job. It wasn't by my desire, but it was the sign from the universe. The universe actually pushed me, right? The universe presented me with the situation where I just had to be where I am and start like really be serious about my own business. So when I lost the job where I was thinking I'm gonna retire, which is funny enough, because although I had all these beautiful inspirational thoughts, I wasn't still ready to quit and venture out for something else. I was still thinking, okay, this is my security, this is my stability. And I think a lot of listeners can relate to that, because a lot of times we are not allowing ourselves to venture out because we know how it is right now. Maybe it's not the best way, but it's very comfortable way. So we are not really pushing ourselves far enough to step out. And that's exactly like I was like thinking, okay, let me explore something what I can do. But meantime, I'm just gonna be working and I'm planning to retire from that job. And when we were all called into our CEO office during the lunch break, and that's when the news was brought to us that because of the economic situation, we don't have the jobs anymore. I just remember how my heart dropped. That was the moment of fear. That was the moment of uncertainty. And that was the moment where I asked myself, what's next? Because at that moment, I did not have the answer.
That's a big one. To be called finally. And and how long did it take for you this sort of transition? When you tiptoe in the water and back, thinking, oh, this is great, but still not able to jump, because that took me 10 years. I was wondering, how long was it before you lost the job?
It was interesting. It's a good question, right? Although I was learning about myself and I was thinking about my own business, but why did I become manifestation coach? Because I came across something a couple of months, maybe like 5 or 6 months before that event happened of pandemic, right? And losing the job. I came into something that's called manifesting by numbers. And I was using this practice to figure out what my business is. And I remember I was following instructions, and one of the instructions was to write on a piece of paper, what do you want and how would you feel when you have it? And I wrote, to have a successful business and the way I feel I'm going to be feeling fulfilled and happy. And I just stick it on the mirror in the bathroom. So each day I was coming and looking at it. I wasn't really much into the manifestation space at that moment, but it was already just like setting the intentions, writing it out, and just kind of claiming it to the universe that this is where I want to be heading. And that's how things started to unfold, right? Because 5 months later, I just lost the job, not by choice, but because the universe delivered my wish, right? And it's funny because a lot of times when we are presented with unfavorable circumstances, we feel so lost. And at that moment, we never think that there is always the seed of good in any bad situation. And that's exactly what happened. At that moment, I was totally lost when I found out that I don't have the job anymore. But as the time was passing by, first of all, I said, oh, you know what? Let me look at it on the bright side. Now I'm going to spend the time with the kids, because I was complaining all the time that, I don't have the time for them. And guess what? I just manifested that. The universe delivered the time. Here you go. Here is the time. Now you can be with the kids. I was complaining that, this is not the job that I want to do for the rest of my life, even though I didn't know what I'm going to do. Universe delivered. Here you go. Here is your, announcement. You don't have the job anymore. Now what? Now let's see how you're going to handle it.
Nice. So what happened? How did you take off? You just attracted a few clients from, I don't know, after doing a course, or what were the factors that really get you going?
So that's the interesting part. So now I'm with the kids. I'm enjoying a couple of months. We have fun together. We are baking together. We are watching movies together. We are just, playing the games together. And I'm like, oh, this is perfect time. But then again, it's not who I am at core, because I feel like there is a piece of me missing. And the piece of me missing, what am I going to do now with my life, right? And then I was like waking up at night. I started to wake up at night, and my mood was like on a roller coaster. It was constantly swinging up and down, up and down. And then one morning, I just woke up with that firm decision that I have to do something about it. That's it. I cannot continue be where I am, because this was suffocating for me. And I said, okay, so what can I do? Right. At that moment, I had to make a clear decision for myself. And I never thought that, we all could actually make the decisions for ourselves in any given situation. Right. So the pressure makes us, really clear. And I said to myself, there are no jobs available anywhere. So why don't I start my own business? And that idea just light me up. And at the same token, like after a couple of minutes where I was already like, having these butterflies, thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to have my flexible schedule. I'm going to be doing something what I love what to do. There was another voice creeping up, because we all have two voices inside of us. And that voice is like, like putting the hammer on me and saying, really? What are you going to do? Who is opening the business during pandemic? Look at the people, they are closing the businesses. Look at the economy. Like, are you out of your mind? What are you going to do? What are you good at? But let me tell you, that voice that was looking for something better in my life actually won. And I just decided to stay open and see what's going to come out for me, right? Because I didn't have any clarity where to go, what to do. I still continue discovering myself. I still continue going to different workshops. And then at one point, my daughter, she didn't want to study at home. And she's like, Mom, hire me the therapist, because I cannot do it on my own. And I was like, I don't even know any therapist. But I'm just saying, it's interesting how the links get connected at some point, right? Like when we connect all the dots, when we are like building this story about ourselves. So we reached out to our dance teacher, and she says, I don't know any therapist, but I know an excellent girl. She's a life coach. And Andrew, it's never the lack of resources in the universe. It's the lack of our awareness. Because that was the first time in my life that I heard the term life coach. It's not like they were not around already for a while, but I never even knew who these people are. Because all my life was like in a box, going to work, coming home, staying home, going to work. And I wasn't really aware about a lot of things, right? And once I went online to see who these life coaches are, when I was reading the description, I got so connected. I said, this is me. And my next step was, I just went online. I found the certification program. I graduated, and let me tell you, one of the best moments of my life was when I was receiving that life coach certification, because I felt so happy and proud of myself that finally I'm going to be living and doing something that I truly meant to do in my life. So that's the beginning of the story. And after that, it's like building the business, and it's block on a block on a block. It was an easy road. And now I started to see great openings, great opportunities, but everything takes time. If I say that it was easy, no, it wasn't, but it was a lot of fun for sure.
What a story. And if someone's listening to us, like, who are your clients exactly? Like, what are they? Do they have an age bracket, or are the people who are stuck in their job? Who are you helping?
That's a great question. I really attract people who want something different from life and people who actually fascinating with the law of attraction. Somebody who heard about the law of attraction or somebody who tried to manifest something on their own but were not successful, or someone who got minimum success out of it, or somebody who did do some things but they want more knowledge and make this process more easy, smooth, and faster. That's exactly where I come handy, because the system that I teach people, it's a proven, reliable, repeatable program that generates results. It was developed by my mentor over 40 years ago, and that system works and produces results for thousands and thousands of people. My clients have amazing results, but just know that anything that you touch, it takes time. And it's easy to stop doing when you're all by yourself. It's so important to be in that structure of support, to have that accountability partner, and to be in the space of like-minded people. Because let's face it, our society is still the society that doesn't understand what it's to live outside of the box. And a lot of times you could be met with weird looks or inappropriate comments, like, what are you doing with your life? Where are you heading? Out? Did you lose your mind? Right? So it's very important to be staying with like-minded people, the people who have the same goals, people who have the same desires, people who want to explore the life to the fullest, and they actually listening to their hearts and they quiet their minds. Because let me tell you, our heart has the answers for everything. And when we led by our hearts, we actually live our best lives.
No, that's beautiful. Uh, it's exactly what changed everything for me. As you said, like-minded people, supporting group, and a life coach. That's if these two things you're doing and you're listening to this call, probably you'll be on the right path. Just make sure that you get results. Because unfortunately that there are many groups out there who are not getting results. So always check in, uh, especially maybe about reviews, because you could save a lot of time. And what's unique about working with you, Irina? Like, how do you work as a manifestation coach? You get to see people every week or every 2 weeks, or what is it like? How does it start?
Well, that's a great question. Everything starts from the free workshop that I offer, because I want people to come to the workshop. It's very interactive and it shows exactly how things are happening in our life. It also gives you the life assessment where you look into the areas of your life and decide which area is really speaking up to me, which area I would love to change, because a lot of times we don't even know what we want, because we were never trained to ask that question, what we want. We always were trained like, what should I do, right? Everybody's saying, at work, the boss is telling you have to do this. At home, the partner is telling you have to do that. Sometimes the kids are bossing you around. So everybody tells you your responsibilities, but nobody actually is curious about what you want as the person. So that's exactly the great space for you to come to the workshop and explore, like, what do I want from my life? To have that date with the most important person, which is you. And this workshop is going to really open up so many areas for you to look at and the possibilities. And you are going to start looking at the life under the different lights. And I encourage all of you. It's, this is the gift for me, from me to you. Please come explore. And like I said, it's all about keeping our minds open, because for the people who have their minds open, the universe delivers a lot of beautiful, beautiful, magical things in life. So it's all about just let me go, let me see what this is all about. If it doesn't resonate with you, at least you already gonna attend the workshop and you're gonna know this is not for me. But it would be worse if you know about this workshop, you never explore, and you just kind of brush it off, because at one point the life is going to talk to you and you're going to be hearing that voice loud and clear. And what I always encourage people, don't wait for the adversity to happen in your life, because a lot of people do it this way. A lot of people either get terminally sick, or they going through the divorce, or they're losing the job, they're losing the financial security. Only then they start frantically looking for the help. But I say we don't have to wait for all these bad events to hit us before we start working on ourselves, because we could actually consciously create our life. And because I studied myself through the human design, this is the field where we could also have a lot of answers for ourselves, who we are and what we are capable. So my human design is manifest and generator. So I do actually manifest a lot of things in my life very fast. And that's exactly what I'm good for, because I want to share that gift and that knowledge with others. And it's like, why would you walk blindfolded and just, hit the corners and explore and take your time? Because let's face it, the time, not even money can buy the time back. So I'm providing the shortcut. I'm going to give you the shortcut how to create that beautiful life that you want for yourself, whatever you desire at the point. And if you don't know what you desire, I'm going to help you to discover that. So I just want to invite you with the bottom of my heart for everybody to show up, because that's the time when it's not recorded. It's actually, I am live with you, and I'm there to answer any questions you're going to have after the workshop. And this is the time that is very, very valuable for me, because I want to help as many people as I can.
I love it. I love it. Make a date with yourself on Irina's workshop, because it will be about you. And at times, most people I found, they're so busy, so distracted, they wouldn't have that me time. But not the me time in front of the screens, not the me time videos and down in the bar drinking. It's the me time where you find maybe meaning in your life. So what are the 3 things you could recommend to someone who is, these people who are sitting on the fence? Probably you've been there, and I have been there certainly for years. What would be changing their, let's say, sitting on the fence?
That's a good question. So when you are in the process of like really doing something different in your life, first and foremost, you have to make the decision, right? Decision is the number one thing, because a lot of people nowadays don't even know how to make the decision, because we are living in the society where everybody else is making the decisions for ourselves. So we allow other people to decide for us. So the most important thing is to make a decision. I'm gonna go and do, and whatever it takes. I just love the words of that song. Wherever it takes, right? Because I want something more out of this life. I am done with the life that I have, because I explored it, and I see that I'm capable of so much more. So I make this powerful decision for myself that I'm gonna go explore, and I'm gonna do the work required in order for me to be where I want to be. And I can guarantee you, you're gonna have your results, but there is an effort, there is a work to do, and there is a system to follow. So decision is number one, very important, because once we decide to do something, the universe is going to conspire with us. And the universe, we are going to make one step, and the universe is going to make 10 steps towards us. Just, be sure of that, because I have proven it so many times. So decision number one. Number two, to have the burning desire, because not every day you're going to be waking up and saying, okay, I'm going to do this inner work, I'm going to do, morning routine and everything else. So you have to have that burning desire for something that you truly want to do, because once you connect with that, this is your reality that you want to live. And third is to have the vision, because you cannot go somewhere without having the clear picture where you're going, because there is no wind in the favor to the sailor who doesn't have the destination. So have that destination, have figuring out that vision. And that's what I also help people do during the workshop.
Wonderful. And what would you be if things went really well for you? Let's say in the next 3 years, what would you be celebrating? Like, what do you want to achieve? What drives you now?
Oh my gosh, what a beautiful question. I think the people like you and me, we are here to create that impact, to make aware other people that we all can live our best lives. And for me, the biggest celebration is going to be seeing people, more and more people who are free and fulfilled and who are living the life that they truly want to live. This is going to be the biggest celebration for me, to receive these beautiful emails of saying thank you for the job that I've done and help them to move from the space where they were to where they are now, and just travel in this world and being a speaker and continuously talking about this, because we want to make people aware. Like I said, it's all in our awareness. If we don't know something, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but it's all about bringing that awareness to people and impact more lives and make people more happier. We are not here to suffer. We are here to enjoy ourselves to the fullest and to live the most happiest and beautiful lives.
Well, it's so true. And I know you're a numbers person. How many? 3 years from now, how many of lives do you want to see changed, or emails coming back, or maybe positive feedbacks?
I anticipate at least 50,000.
Wow. That's
Because between the programs that I create, the online courses, the speaking engagements, just, sometimes the person who just comes to the workshop once, they might not react at the same time, because it's all about planting the seeds, because every one of us has the perfect timing. And I know when that person is ready, they are going to do something about it. I don't care how long it's going to take, maybe a year or two. I don't care if I'm going to be that coach for that person. As long as that person is going to be coached by somebody to change their life, that's already for me the win.
that's so insightful and so much of abundant thinking. Because yes, I'm hoping this conversation will set people up for a new life, and they will go with you or they will go with whoever, but at least I understand that probably for you, probably for me, there has been let's say certain events one after the other before, probably, and you tell me, you correct me if you want, when you say no more of my own life. Now I'm going to listen to my heart and live from my heart. I don't know how many seats that takes.
It's absolutely so true. Thank you so much. Because people are, living in fear, right? Fear is something that people are feeding off. And that's why I don't listen to the news, because the news always feed more, seed more fear in us. And our mind is like so used to receive this kind of food that when something positive comes up, it feels like a lie. So some people might listen to us and say, I don't even know what they're talking about because it doesn't exist in reality. But I'm here to say that it does. It's all in your perception, because the world is plastic, and it's whatever emotions, whatever beliefs we instill in that world, that's exactly the lives that we are living. Because no matter how bad the economy is, no matter how bad everything is, but there are still people who prosper. So if it was true for everybody, everybody would be living the same life, but people are living different lives. So it's not up to the economy, it's not up to the politics or any other external circumstances. It's all starting from us. It's all starting from who we believe we are at the core, and what we have our beliefs about ourselves and our capacity. And that's exactly what we help people to build.
That's beautiful. And where are you available? Like, what's your website? And obviously, we'll put everything under this video. Or what's the easiest way to find you?
Well, I have multiple sites. I have the YouTube channel. I also just launched the membership site for people who just want to explore but still afraid to invest a lot of money, but they still want to explore. For something less than a cup of coffee a day, they can start exploring. This is months to months program, and they can just, come in, sign in, see what this is all about. And what I love about this membership, a lot of great names, all they do just put the recordings, but me, I'm going to be personally working with people. So depends what kind of level of membership you have, but twice a month you're going to see my face, and I'm going to be with you on Zoom, where we are going to be doing the different topics in a master class, and I also have the Q&A sessions, so people can actually ask me any burning questions that they have, either in life or when they are going through the manifestation process. So I think this is the best gift that I can give to a lot of people, because like I said, for somebody to explore and to see where it's going to take them, and just to get yourself, to introduce yourself to the law of attraction and see how it really works. And I'll share all the links for people to see and connect with me. And let's just, let's stay in touch. I'm available on the email. You can book session with me, come to the workshop, do the membership, check my website, check my YouTube, all the different ways, and we can stay connected. I'm available.
Well, thanks for this. That's so meaningful to be able to help people on their journey and then get them results. Because I still believe that the personal development market, well, not everyone, let's say, is getting results. And I still believe that one day, or hopefully in the near future, it will be clearer and clearer for everyone who is a true hero or a true person who is getting value, getting results for people. How do you see the market these last few years?
That's a great question. I think it all starts from the person itself. Like I said, if we go to the gym, we can't expect to have the perfect body in 3 months. We know that if we continuously go into the gym, at one point we are going to have that perfect body. Yet, if you want to maintain it, you're not going to quit at some point, right? You're still going to continue doing the work. So it's very same analogy with when we are working with our brain muscle. We train our brain muscle the same way as we are training our physical muscle. But here it's not like we are standing in front of the mirror and we can notice the results, right? So this is something that really stops people, because we are so prone to navigate this life with our five senses. But when people start working with me, I actually connect them to their intuition, which is our GPS, our inner GPS. and our intuition gives us the guidance, and they are able to read the signs from the universe to know if they are on the right track, and they start seeing things, and it comes in the energy, because once they energetically are going to up level themselves, they see a different type of people are going to be attracted to them. You could notice it, right? You become more calmer, you become more in control of your emotions, you handle things completely different, and you start attracting a different breed of people. And that's exactly how you start seeing that this is working. This is something that's producing the results, right? And like I said, you are going to have your dream for sure. The only thing, you have to know what you want and why you want it. And it's not your job to know how, because how we are going to discover in the process, and I'll help you to tap into that field. But the point is that the most important thing is for people, not when they have the dream, but the process of who they become during that all work, because you're going to be a completely different person from where you started to while you're building all these blocks until the finish line. You are going to be different person, and your values are going to change. You're going to be shifting your perception. You're going to be looking at the world with different eyes, and you actually are going to be living on a different dimension.
Well, I love to hear that. I could have this conversation for the next few hours, but as we are nearing to the end, I was thinking, what maybe I have not asked you that you wanted to share, and what would that be?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for that. This is something that is my mantra, because I'm like very optimistic person, right? So obviously we have to constantly check in with our mind, right? Because we want to stay in the positive energy. Why is it so important? Because when we are relaxed and in positive energy, we attract these positive events, positive people to ourselves. So just to give the people the tip for the listeners, because a lot of times we are dealing with some struggles, with some stress, with some anxiety. The best way is to catch yourself during that state and say that everything is happening for my highest good. This is my mantra. Everything is happening for my highest good. And let me tell you, sometimes we might not see it during that moment, because you would be thinking, what the hell is good could be in that bad situation? But as the time goes by and you trust the process, you're going to put these puzzle pieces together, and you're going to say, now I understand why that situation was given to me. So look at any given situation, how bad it is, as this is the lesson for you to learn something and to grow with that. And you'll see that the best outcome is going to be there. So don't worry, don't stress yourself out, because you cannot change the situation. Just because we are stressing ourselves, just because we are nervous, the situation is still there, right? So rather than just, like jumping over our head and be anxious about it, just be calm. Learn how to be relaxed and calm no matter what's going on outside of you. And always remind yourself that everything is happening for my highest good. And I want to hear back from you. Just start doing this for a month, and you'll see how your energy is going to shift, and how differently you're going to be dealing and responding to different situations, and how different you're going to see yourself.
Well, thank you very much, Irina, the manifestation coach. She just showed us how to move faster without resistance. And thank you very much for your time, and we'll hope to see you again.
Thank you so much. It was beautiful, and I'm so grateful and honored. And just, I'm inviting the listeners to come and explore the workshop, and I'll meet you on the other side. Thanks so much, Andrea, for this beautiful podcast. Let's just spread that message and make more people aware about the possibilities, because we are living in a beautiful, beautiful universe. and everything is possible if we believe in it.
Thank you. See you later.